Thank you, Your Honor. We're here today in the State of Ohio versus Lisa Kocher, case number 25-CR001670. Defendant is present in open court today with her counsel, Nicole Novotny. We're here today for a sentencing. Defendant was last before Your Honor on January 8th of 2026, where she pled guilty by way of information to one count of assault, a felony of the 4th degree. At that time, a pre-sentence report, drug and alcohol evaluation, and victim impact statement were ordered. It's the state's understanding that all of those have been completed and provided to the court, and that all parties are prepared to go to sentencing at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Novotny.
Regarding the instant matter, Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider community control for Lisa. Ultimately, we provided to the court, and I know my office, specifically my social worker and myself, Aaron Mayer, have been in touch with Oak House, and they do have a bed available for Ms. Kocher. With that respect, I know given that throughout her life she's suffered a lot of trauma, a lot of loss in her family, but this time she wants to put herself first. With that respect, Your Honor, she was going to Signature Health for mental health. She sees a specialist at the Cleveland Clinic. I know, just with talking with Ms. Kocher, she has suffered a lot of trauma growing up. She suffers a lot of medical diagnoses, specifically Hashimoto disease, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and she was previously dealing with cancer in her cervix. With that, Your Honor, we're just asking for any type of leniency. I know prior to her incarceration, she was working for RAL Property Management, and she was working as a cleaner and a painter with that business. Ultimately, with that letter, Lisa would look forward to, if the court would be inclined to send her to Oak House, to have that opportunity, and she would take that welcomely. Your Honor, we're just asking for any leniency and consider her for community control at this time. Thank you.
Ms. Kocher, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you want to say?
Your Honor, I've been going to Signature Health since 2013. I don't believe that you just go one time to counseling. I've gotten continued care there, including I've passed the JTP program. I finished NeoCap in the past. I haven't been here in years and years. I do have a degree. I graduated high school.
The hearing opens with a familiar battle that appears in many felony sentencing cases. One side wants the court to focus on accountability. The other wants the court to believe rehabilitation still has value.
I lost a lot of family members in the past couple of years, like one after the other, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but it was really traumatic for me. Excuse me. Sorry. I just want to get better for myself and my family. I do have a drinking problem. I wasn't intoxicated at the time, but I started drinking a lot just due to, I'm not trying to make excuses again, but I do understand that I was on a bad road, and I would really appreciate if I can take this time to get the help that I really need. I would be so thankful for that if you could let me just get the help I need, and you won't have any problems for me. I've never had a problem on probation. I've never had a dirty urine. I've always showed up for all my appointments. I always complete my probation with no problems. I pay my fines. It's been a really, really hard couple of years, and I want to get better. I really do, and you won't have any problems with me. Like, they won't have a problem with me at Oak House or being on probation. I was sober the whole time. I've been sober for years and years. One time I was sober for 5 years. So, I mean, I wasn't even on community control or anything else. I mean, I worked at Dino's for 4 years. I was a cook. I have many trades. My dad taught me. He was a Marine and a longshoreman. My brother was too. That I lost both of them, so, I mean, I'm asking for your mercy, Your Honor.
What happened on November 27th?
I just started a new medicine. It was called Banafin and Latuda. I was going to Signature Health at the time. For some reason, every time they give me medicine, I'm not making excuses again, but it didn't really work good with me, I don't think, because I just felt weird. I was having I did let my provider know I didn't really like it too much. I just felt tired and just not myself. But anyways, so it was Thanksgiving, and I couldn't get a hold of my daughter. I can barely ever get a hold of her. I'm not sure where she's even living at this time. It's been a big issue. I know that she's in a bad relationship. I'm not here to talk about her, but I'm very concerned about her. And I didn't have anywhere to go, and so I went to Dax bar, and I walked in, got food, because someone told me they're having food. I had gotten a hotel for 10 days because my apartment has black mold, so I paid for a hotel for 10 days. They were going to fix that while I was there. So anyway, so I was hungry. I don't have any family here, and so I went there to eat. I was eating, and I ordered a Red Bull. This was confirmed by the owner and bartender. I did not order any drinks as I was sitting there. She said, "You look familiar." I said, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Weren't you just in here a couple months ago?" I said, "No, I haven't been here since I was in my 20s. I don't go to bars really anymore." And she said, "No, you were here over the summer." And I said, "No, I wasn't here." And she's like, so she hands me this Chime card. I've never had a Chime account, and a receipt. She said, "No, you have an outstanding tab with us." I said, "No, the outstanding tab was $38. So I said, "Okay, fine, I'll pay for it then, but it's not mine." And she's like, "You know what? No, you could just leave. You got an attitude." And I said, "Okay, well then I'll just leave then. I won't pay for it." And so then the owner came up behind me. I had my hair down at the time. I had my winter jacket on and
The defendant describes herself as someone caught in a chain of misunderstandings involving medication, confusion, aggressive bar staff, and excessive police force. The judge immediately contrasts that narrative with police reports, witness statements, and the guilty plea already entered.
bag, that over the side bag, I forgot what it's called. Crossbody bag. So he grabbed my hair from behind and my full on, it's on camera, grabbed my hair from behind, pulled me and my bag off there. I went back like this and turned around with a reflex and, went like that to him. He got back, and then all of a sudden, this guy next to me takes my head and my glasses, almost breaking my glasses, puts my head down with my hair. I'm then I'm being knocked off the bar stool. I fell on my back, and I went up. My shoes came off, everything. I was trying to get them off me. I kept on telling him, "I'm going to sue you," and stuff like that. And get off me, and, telling him, "Get off me." So this guy grabs my legs, and they're finally they let me go. So I bend over, I get my glasses, put them back on my head, and then continue. Then I asked for my shoes. This is, they gave me my shoes, and I said, "I'm suing you. You shouldn't have touched me," and everything. And I was going to call the police. So anyways, I walk out because they said, "Get out of here, don't come back." I said, "Okay." So I leave. And so I'm walking down the street, and it's windy, and it's really cold and
Well,
everything.
hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So the police went back and talked to the owner and some of the bartender.
Uh-huh.
And they report that you had a Chime card, that you were there on August 11th with a balance on it and left, didn't pay it, didn't come back, and then you were here this night.
Mm-hmm.
They observed you to be obviously impaired. You were demanding that they serve you alcohol. They refused, and then you started arguing with other patrons, and they told you to leave, and then you turned and elbowed the owner in the face, and that's when you were then somewhat forcibly removed from Dax, and then you went outside.
I walked out myself after
All right,
they
so
let me out.
what happened outside?
Your Honor, this is exactly what happened, what I'm telling you, I promise.
Okay,
I
what
was
happened
assaulted
outside?
in there by many people. That's not how you
I want
ask
to know
someone to
what,
leave.
you're charged with assault.
Uh-huh.
For
Not
what
by
happened,
him.
for what
No, he
happened
said he
outside.
didn't
So-
wanna-
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. What happened outside?
Okay, so I left the area, so I went to the gas station, got a vape, a nicotine vape, then started walking towards Gabriel Brothers in the parking lot to leave the area to get a lift. I was on my phone. I'm partially deaf in my left ear, so I was walking, it was windy. All of a sudden, I'm walking, and a cop is running towards me, and I'm like, oh, like this. I put my hands up. Oh, hi. He goes, come with me to my cruiser. He said, where you just at Dax? I said, yeah. He said, okay. So, what's your name? He got it. All of a sudden, he starts grabbing me. They accosted me immediately without barely even talking to me. No one wanted to press charges. I didn't do anything illegal in there. I was accosted in that bar, not once, but twice. Now being held, against, I didn't know what it was happening. So and I was not intoxicated, and I asked for a Red Bull, Your Honor, that's an energy drink. I was on pharmaceutical meds. So then they put my hands behind my back.
And then why did they indicate that you smelled pretty badly of alcohol?
I don't know, Your Honor. I kept on telling them I'm not intoxicated.
All right.
I asked them why they were arresting me. They said, now you're being arrested because you're resisting. The only thing that I think that they should have said is, you're trespassing from the bar, now get out of here. You don't have any warrants, here's your ID back, and leave the area, instead of grabbing me like that without even talking to me and getting my side of the story. No, they most definitely assaulted me. It's all on video. I watched the video several times. It's all on video. I did nothing from start to finish. I was not intoxicated. I was on pharmaceutical meds.
Did you assault one of these officers?
Every answer now affects trust more than facts. Once sentencing arrives, factual disputes usually carry less weight because guilt has already been established. Continuing to dispute nearly every allegation places the court in an uncomfortable position.
No.
You did not? You didn't
He
grab
has-
him in the crotch and squeeze his penis?
No, Your Honor. My
You didn't.
hands were all the way up my back. I said, I'm not grabbing you. What are you talking about? That's when his knee was behind my knee, and they kept on saying, put your foot down. It was just a mess. Like I don't understand why they didn't just say, hey, you're trespassing from the bar. Do not go back in there if we catch you
So
in there.
you weren't scuffling at all with the police?
They had me like.
No, I said, were you scuffling at all?
No, I was trying. I kept on saying, "You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. Ow, 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 ow. You're hurting me." I was trying.
So these 3 or 4 police officers, probably the entire shift, had nothing better to do than see you walking down the street and decide to screw around with you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that you don't believe me. I am telling
I
you
don't
the
believe
truth.
you.
Yeah, no, I was walking and I didn't hear. He said, "Come to my cruiser." I willingly walked to his cruiser. As I was walking, he grabbed my hand. I said, "Why are you touching me?" I didn't understand why he would be grabbing my hand. His job was to tell me, "Do not go back in that bar. You're trespass. Let me see your ID."
Well,
Okay? You have no warrants. Now goodbye.
I don't think you were in a situation to tell these guys what their job was.
But I was walking.
At that occasion, it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't your place to tell these guys what their job is.
Okay, it does. I mean, he grabbed my hand while I was walking to the cruiser willingly with him, and then
Well,
put my hands
he
immediately.
says the exact opposite, that you were walking away.
No, Your Honor, I was walking. Then when I heard them, when he came close to me, I said, "Oh, hi." I turned around and went like this. I went like this with my hand. I had my cell phone in this hand, and I go, "Oh, hi." He goes, "Come to my cruiser with me." While I was walking, he grabbed my hand. And I said, "Why are you touching me?" All of a sudden, "No, we're not doing this, we're not doing this." And he grabbed me and put my hands behind my back.
Right.
And that's when I said, "You are hurting me." And he was pushing me against the cruiser. I kept on saying, "You're hurting my arm, you're hurting me, you're hurting me." And they were squeezing my arms. I said, why am I being arrested? They go, like 10 minutes later after that, all that, they said, "There's no way I can win against 2 male officers who are really big and tall." I was not doing that. And then after they I said, you're hurting me, ow, 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 ow. They said, no, we're not. And then they said, I said, why am I being arrested? What are you doing? And he said, well, now you're being arrested for resisting.
So you're interviewed by Ms. Knaus, January 28th, and when the discussion came to what happened that night, you said you went to Dax Bar to eat and drink a sugar-free Red Bull.
That's what I ordered.
The bar owner accosted you, asked you to leave for no reason. When you were outside in the parking lot, the police arrived and used excessive force to arrest her, acting like cavemen and military men. She reported she's deaf in her left ear and could not hear the police calling her, and had just been prescribed Latuda, which caused her to appear drunk, which she denies.
Mm-hmm. This is in Sunoco's parking lot, sir. I was not in Dak's parking lot. I walked away immediately and got out of that area. It was the parking lot.
So then it
over.
says the defendant stated she did not grab the police officer's penis and only pleaded guilty because she was coerced. You were coerced?
Your Honor, I know that I can't. I know that if they come in here, just like right now, you don't believe me, Your Honor.
Were you coerced to plead guilty?
I mean, I feel like I can't win against a whole police station. I want to go forward.
The question is, were you coerced to plead guilty?
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know? So when I asked you at the plea hearing, have you been coerced?
I don't want anyone to retaliate against me. This is happening.
Listen to me.
This keeps on happening to me.
When I asked you at the plea hearing if you were coerced in any way to plead guilty today, your answer was no.
No, Your Honor. That's my answer right now. No, Your Honor.
Then why did you tell her you were coerced?
Because I'm scared of retaliation against a whole police force.
A major turning point arrives when the discussion shifts to whether the guilty plea was voluntary. This is a dangerous direction because the legal system depends on defendants confirming that pleas are made knowingly and without coercion.
Okay, they keep on doing this to me. They didn't even stop to talk to me like I'm a human being. They immediately grabbed me for no reason. They didn't say, you are trespassed from the bar, Lisa Coker, now get out of here. Okay, you don't have any warrants? Let me see your ID. Yes, sir. Here's your ID.
So this is the entire city of Wickliffe. Let's
Your Honor,
get Lisa
I am suffering
Coker
from
night
PTSD and
on November
trauma
27th,
victims.
right? Is that what it is?
I'm sorry?
This is Get Lisa Coker.
Yeah, we grew up there. Yeah, they were after my family. Yes, Your Honor. I'm horrified of the justice system and retaliatory acts from the police. Yes, so yes, I'm going to plead that no one coerced me, and I want to please get on with this. I'm a trauma victim. I am a victim of the justice system.
You are someone that's created a unique niche in the justice system with your
No,
past
Your
record.
Honor, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I am a good person.
I'm just looking at your record.
I'm a good person.
Okay. I'm just looking at your record.
Okay.
You've been at it for.
I haven't been here in 9 years.
You've been at this criminal justice system as an adult thing for 31 years.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, domestic violence.
Excuse me, I don't do drugs.
Assault.
No, I don't do drugs.
Right.
No, that's wrong. No. I need help, Your Honor. I'm here to get help.
Well, why haven't you were on probation in 2016 to Judge Lucci? Why didn't you get help then?
I know help is something you get for years. I've never been into an inpatient program, sir.
Well, why not?
I've been in one for like 30 days. I'm figuring that this one could help me because it's longer. You can't just get help in 30 days.
Well, then why didn't you?
Help is continued on to your adult life.
Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do
have
that?
many times. I've done plenty of 30. I've been in an outpatient program at Signature Health. I just haven't done long-term care, sir. I've been in outpatient. This is not something you just get help for and then say, well, I'm done. I've been going to get help. I have massively improved. Trust me.
I don't know what you need help for if you told me that.
I have PTSD and anxiety, and I have an alcohol problem. I do not have problems with drugs, Your Honor. I told you the truth. I'm telling you the truth right now.
Okay.
Everything that I've said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do have a
Well,
problem with alcohol.
then I either have to believe you, or I have to believe the people in Dax and the police. Which one do you think I'm believing?
Well, I mean, it's on record. I'm telling you what happened. That is what happened. They immediately grabbed me without even talking to me, and they just believed them over me. And there's a video of the whole thing from the first.
Well, then wouldn't that have been a good thing at trial, to show the video and the police accosted
I
you?
figured
for
you
no
watched
reason?
it, Your Honor. I'm not sure. I'm just going along with the flow here. I do need help with my alcohol problem. I do get help. I can only do so much if a pharmaceutical drug doesn't work on me, I try another one. I was not intoxicated, Your Honor. I'm telling you the truth. I do need help. Please let me go to Oak House. I really would appreciate the help. I'll show up at all my probation appointments like I did last time. I will pass. I don't do
Why
drugs.
is it up to me to provide help? Why don't you get your own help?
I do. I'm still a patient at Signature Health.
Okay.
I'm not lying to you.
Anything else you want to say?
I've been sick and I'm just with other stuff, and then when that happened with 3 people, not just one person. It was my dad, my mom, my brother died this past couple of years. I started drinking again, and I'm sorry. Sometimes those things happen. I was falling apart. Yeah, and then apparently Signature Health wasn't enough for me. I probably went off the deep end a little bit, and I'm not making excuses for my behavior. I'm sorry.
Okay, but this behavior's been going on in one form or another for 31 years.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm not a perfect person. I never said I was.
I didn't say you were a perfect person.
I've never went to like a 6-month program for mental and physical, mental and alcohol problems. It's only been like 30 days here, and I asked to be in one, and then they put me in an Orca house, but that was only 30 days. I just got out of there. That was only 30 days. I'm figuring that with this plus probation, I did so well on probation. I never drank the whole time. I went to meetings. I had a sponsor. I had a home group. I was doing meetings every single day. I was doing good. Yeah, and then they died, and then I was like, couldn't believe it. I was like.
At this stage, the hearing stops focusing on one assault and starts examining an entire adult history. The judge repeatedly returns to one question that many defendants struggle to answer. If rehabilitation has been available before, why should the court believe this attempt will be different?
And I'm not trying to make excuses. I know I shouldn't have started drinking, but I don't know what happened. I just kind of lost it because they were a big part of my life, and
That doesn't give you the right or the basis when you're approached by the police on November 27th for a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't give you the right.
It was a lawful stop.
That
I
doesn't
get
give
it.
you the right to fight with them.
Your
And
Honor,
to
I
resist them.
I
Okay,
put
this
my
isn't
hands-
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I put my
okay?
hands up.
This isn't Los Angeles, California, or New York City.
Okay.
You don't have the right to fight with the police
No,
and
I
to
do
grab
not.
them in the crotch and cause them an
All over
injury
my uncles.
that sent them to the ER.
I had to go to the hospital.
Okay, you don't have the right to do that.
Your Honor, I
Under any
respect all
circumstances.
police. I went to school for criminal justice.
Good.
I went to the Cleveland
Then
Heights
you should
Police
know
Academy.
better. Then you should know
Your
better.
Honor, they accosted me off the street and hurt me very
No,
badly
they didn't.
before even. Yes.
No, they didn't.
Your Honor, it's on tape.
No, they didn't. Okay?
I'm accepting.
You are not a reliable reporter of what happened.
I'm accepting what you're saying, Your Honor. I respect all police and even the correction officers here at the jail. I'm the only person probably in the jail that does. You should see these people, how they treat these COs in here. I don't just say, give me some toilet paper and all that stuff. No, I did say, like this Tim, as soon as I saw him, I go, oh, hi. I put my hands up.
On Friday, January 2nd, at approximately 14:27 hours, inmate Lisa Coker was issued a 23-hour lockdown for a major violation, indecent exposure.
I was going to the bathroom on the toilet, and the CO walked by, and I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to do that. I was going to the bathroom. I had an emergency. I almost went to the bathroom on my pants. No, that was squashed by the captain.
On December 31,
See?
at 17:10
Is this my
hours,
crime?
you told me that you've been a perfect inmate over
I
here,
didn't say
and I'm
perfect.
giving you the second example when you
I
weren't.
didn't say perfect.
Okay? Disobeying the inmate rules of conduct,
I didn't say
along
perfect.
with Ignatovsky, who's been here,
I was
Riley,
talking to her about my daughter.
who's been here, for talking through the lower mezzanine door. Now, it's no big deal to you, right? But the
No, I
rules-
didn't know that was
There are
a
certain
rule.
rules.
That's not in the inmate
Okay,
handbook.
all right. Everybody's out to get Lisa.
No, I didn't say that.
Everybody's out to get Lisa. Ms.
That's not
Cutts.
in the inmate handbook that you can't go to
Ms.
the door. I
Cutts.
didn't know, Your Honor, and I
Enough.
apologize for that.
Enough.
I'm not a perfect
Enough.
Not perfect, that's for sure. I have a problem with alcohol. I really need help.
All right, you have a problem talking too much.
Okay, you're right.
So your
You're
turn
right
is
about
done.
that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. In this case, looking at the factors of the seriousness, did want to point out, as you have made reference to, that the victim in this case, Ryan Krempa, did suffer physical harm. There were 2 incidents while with the defendant where she, on 2 different occasions, either pinched or grabbed his penis through his uniform. Later on, he had issues with pain and vomiting and ended up going to the emergency room where he was found to have testicular torsion. So they had to do a procedure in the emergency room to correct that so that he wouldn't have any permanent damage. It's my understanding he does not have permanent damage. However, his insurance did not pay for everything, so there is economic harm in the amount of $358.55. Insurance paid a portion. That receipt has been provided to the court. So in addition to trying to do his job, he was injured during that time frame. In addition to what was occurring there, besides the seriousness factors, we have the recidivism factors. At the time of this incident, the defendant was on bond in multiple courts. She was on bond in Cuyahoga County, she was on bond in Lakewood Municipal Court, and Akron Municipal Court.
The prosecutor deliberately changes the conversation from personal hardship to measurable consequences. Instead of debating motives, the state highlights physical injury, medical treatment, financial loss, criminal history, pending cases, probation violations, warrants, and disciplinary issues inside the jail.
There may have been others, but those I confirmed myself. She was also on probation for Lyndhurst Municipal Court. She has a probation violation pending in that court, as well as I believe probation indicated she was on probation in Mayfield Heights Municipal Court and Marion Municipal Court. She does have a history of criminal convictions, a juvenile assault and violating court order, and then her adult history began in 1995. I won't go through all of it, but she began with felonies. Her first felony was in 1997, the aggravated possession of drugs. She has felonies in 2017 as well,
No, I don't.
attempted domestic violence and attempted aggravated assault. She has at least 9 offenses of violence and at least 10 drug and alcohol-related cases. And she has multiple convictions as of 2025. She also has multiple warrants out: Cuyahoga County, Lakewood Municipal Court, Garfield Heights, Cleveland Heights Municipal Court, and some pending cases that include the warrants as well as other cases. She has had issues in the jail. I know the court was just referring to them. There were 8 documented in the pre-sentence report, 5 being major violations and 1 being a serious violation. She's not responded favorably to previous sanctions. She has had probation violations in 2023. She had a misdemeanor assault with 2 probation violations. She has various failure to appear warrants and obviously numerous convictions. There are drug and alcohol issues, or at least alcohol issues that are occurring. The individual who did the drug and alcohol evaluation indicated that her prognosis was guarded because of a history of noncompliance with treatment and medication.
That's not true.
Based on all of that, it is the state's view that prison is consistent and the defendant is not amenable to community control. We would recommend prison in this case. She has 79 days of credit. We'd also ask for restitution to Ryan Krempa, the amount of $358.55. and that she be notified about the costs and post-release control. And that would be the state's recommendation at this time. Thank you.
I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation, the victim impact statement. I will note in the pre-sentence report that the defendant was entered as ordered through some probation department into Orca House November 11th of 25 and left against staff advice on November 26th of 25. This event occurred November
They told me to
27th.
leave. I had 5 days left, Your Honor. They told me to leave
Okay, listen,
because the security guards
Okay.
took his gun out and threatened me.
I know.
Yeah. and
It's
he
a
got
common,
fired.
it's a common theme.
I know, he got
apparently.
fired. Yeah, this
It's
is
a
being done
common
on
theme
purpose.
apparently. So, having reviewed everything and considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13, the defendant is clearly not amenable to community control. I'm going to sentence you to 17 months in prison with credit for 79 days. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority with conditions. If you violate the conditions, the parole authority could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If that violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for the violation, the maximum of which is the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. The costs are assessed. Restitution is ordered to Ryan Krempa in the amount of $358.55. Anything else, Ms. Cutts?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Novotny?
No, Your Honor.
So how many months do I get in prison?
17.
17. 17? How? I just did 90.
The final decision reflects a judge who believes the sentencing factors overwhelmingly outweigh rehabilitation arguments. The court references the pre-sentence investigation, treatment history, victim impact information, and previous placement that ended unsuccessfully before concluding the defendant is not amenable to community control. That legal phrase carries enormous significance because it determines whether structured supervision remains a realistic option. The sentence is presented as the result of accumulated evidence rather than one emotional exchange during the hearing. Restitution, post-release control, and prison credit all reinforce that this is now a completed sentencing decision, not an ongoing debate about competing versions of events. The courtroom has moved from persuasion to final legal consequences. The final seconds reveal something that happens often after lengthy sentencing hearings. Throughout the proceeding, the defendant focused almost entirely on explaining why prison should not happen. Once the judge announces 17 months, the conversation immediately shifts from argument to simple reality. Her surprise suggests that hope remained despite the warning signs developing throughout the hearing. Looking back, the sentence was shaped less by one assault than by credibility concerns, criminal history, prior supervision, and the court's belief that repeated interventions had failed. This ending shows why sentencing hearings are often decided long before the final number is spoken. Every earlier answer influenced how the judge measured future risk, and that assessment ultimately determined the outcome.